watched the first episode. It's not funny because it's a person here who she's trying to ruin on TV. But the crazy part was like how she kept saying, it's all over social media. It came out on the internet. Hey, Louie, did you see what was all over social media? Oh my gosh. Hey, even Jennifer was like, did you see on social media? Like they kept repeating that. And it was just so obvious. I never looked at the show like this. Like it's so fake. It's
Yeah.
crazy.
So, right. So, like, when you were in the camp and, Teresa was working with all these bloggers, it was her and Jim Leonard and then Louis, like, what they said, okay, Gabriella, we're not doing Melissa and Joe. This is who we're going after. This is what we need. All eyes on John and Rachel and their whole thing. That's the
Yeah.
story.
Yes. Like, listen, Gabriella, we got to put this out there because Teresa's going to bring it up on camera. And then I even have a text message with Teresa where here comes that letter again, which they had Roxanne from All About the TRH put it out there. And Roxanne even lied in her post saying that it was mailed to her. No, it wasn't. Jennifer Aydin gave it to me and I gave it to Roxanne. Anyway, here came the letter and they were
And
like,
this letter, what? It was sent to what? Jennifer Aydin, Cabral.
yes, it was a letter with like so-called all these deep, dark family secrets about Rachel Fudas' family, and they were going to use it. They wanted to put it on social media so they can bring it up on camera. They were going to use it to throw it in their face. Well, during season 14 filming, I have Teresa in a text message saying, "Oh, did you see what Roxanne put out?" I was like, "Yeah, that's the letter Jennifer gave me or whatever." We put it out before season 13, and she's like, "No, no, yeah, yeah." I remember when she called me too. She was like, "Roxanne put it out there. I need you guys all to share it because I'm going to bring it up." Then we're back on text messages and she's like, I'm going to bring it up when I'm filming with Gia. So everything in regards to the Fudas for sure this season was very much calculated and orchestrated prior to we even saw it on TV.
And that was really their goal, like Teresa and the lawyer, like, we need this out on social media because now for all the people, I always say there is a huge group of people that don't know it exists if it doesn't happen on the show. Their mindset was let's put it out on social media. So when Teresa brings it up on the show, it can now be a storyline because she saw it online rather than just pulling it out of nowhere.
Yes, and what better way to keep Teresa the center of attention, the one everyone's talking about, if she shows up to a party and drops a bombshell?
Well,
See
this
how
is
it works? Yeah.
I do. And this is why people, I think, are over this season. I mean, by the way, the ratings also are not what they used to be. The ratings are not great
Yeah,
so
yeah,
far.
and you know what? I don't even take offense to the people who are on social media right now saying, "Oh my God, Gabriella and Melissa's old nose is ruining the show for us." Bravo! It's like really no. The people who have ruined it are the people who are doing the most behind the scenes to keep themselves on the pedestal, in the spotlight, and that's Teresa, her lawyer, Louie, and Jennifer.
Right.
Like
And they're
I
saying
don't have
what?
a spot. I don't have a spot on that show. I don't need to conjure up storylines to put Gabriella on RHONJ. No, I'm behind. I'm like the little person behind the scenes. Like this is all them, sweetheart. Like you want to blame someone for ruining the franchise, blame the people who are out here digging into people's families and ruining businesses, attempting to ruin businesses so that they can be talked about and they could be center of attention on a show because they're so fame hungry. They can't live with the fact that number one, they get criticized, they have to go and attack everyone with their minions, and number two, that they won't be talked about. So it's like a double-edged sword for them when they're talked about. I know how that like Teresa likes to go on her podcast. Well, when she did have a podcast, she likes to be like, I love that they talk about me. It's more press. No, sorry, people, she hates being talked about, and she hates even more when her husband is talked about, which is why they've come for Vanessa and Margaret the way they have behind the scenes for so long, because they cannot stand when people mention Louie's name, which is why I was getting shit on Michael Rappaport because they needed to silence the person who was criticizing Louie. Same thing as to why they were questioning who Kate Chastain was and if she was related to the other actress, Jessica, because they needed to silence everybody who was mentioning her husband in a negative light. And I don't even want to say negative light if they were just being realistic about the guy.
So they go down the list and what? They're like, Rappaport's going to be hosting a panel at BravoCon. So is Kate. We have to find out what they are and why are they talking bad about Louis. And then what? We're going to pull them aside at BravoCon and give them a scolding.
Yeah, like we're gonna check these people to let them know what you said about my husband is like, it hurt him and he's new to the biz, and please don't go there because he's a family guy, he's a good guy, and don't believe the hype and blah, blah, blah. And we're going to put you straight so that when we're on that panel, if you're our moderator, we don't want you questioning why he said he's wearing my dad's pajamas. We don't want you questioning why he does have a past, because there is one, people, and it's no joke. I mean, they don't want him questioned in any way. And so that's what, like, I don't get this about them. They claim that they don't care, that they love negative attention because good press is bad press, but they very much care. They are very disturbed by what people say, especially about Louie. And the reason why they care so much about what people say about Louie, because 99% of what people are saying about Louie is true. Why do you think they attacked Meghan King so much? Why
After
do you think
my
they hate her?
wonderful interview with her.
Yeah, because what she's saying is true. Why did they get so pressed when Tamara said something about him? Why did they get so pressed when the other lady said stuff about him a long time ago? Like that, it's so crazy, you guys. They really do care. If they didn't care, we wouldn't be making up storylines behind the scenes so that the negative attention is on a cast member and not them.
Right. It's deflection. You and
Yep.
I, again, for everyone listening to this, trust me, we are going to slow it down and we are going to spend over an hour going through all of this slowly. But as we head into tonight's episode, any spoilers, even if not for tonight, like what's coming up? I mean, I guess this is what people are saying because you know what's going to happen this season because Teresa and Jennifer would tell you, right? As they were filming, put this
Yeah.
out. That's how you know the whole season, basically.
Yeah, and to contradict all the little tree huggers out there saying that I tried to cause a war in Teresa's camp and amongst her fans because I was so jealous of someone having a podcast. Guess what, people? I'm not going to create a Patreon and charge you for it. I will give it to you for free. I will drop all these exclusives and I won't get pissed off if anyone wants to share them. So have at it. In tonight's episode, I don't know what takes place in regards to Joe Gorga's birthday bash at the shore because I don't have no one in that camp leaking stuff. So I don't know what happened there. I do know Jennifer Aydin is invited and declines. Jennifer told me Melissa reached out. She invited her, but she declined out of respect towards Teresa. Uh, and, because she can't do one thing without the other. But anyway, Jennifer's not going to be at that party. Jackie, everybody else will. And some of the newbies, both of the newbies, I believe, will be there too. So I don't know what happens at the party, but in regards to Teresa scenes, Teresa said she was going to be filming Gabriella moving, and then they were going to go to the Venetian and eat dinner, and it was so beautiful and emotional. Not much is going to happen, I think, in this episode in regards to like Teresa or even Jennifer. Which I also want to throw out there. Jennifer's not really having a good season, guys. Like I'm trying to remember what scenes she's even in. Like what time, what has she really shown this season? Not much. I know we're only like a couple episodes in, but I
Is she
remember
going
her.
to be a big part of this season? Because we haven't seen a lot of Jennifer
she
this
fights
season.
she fights a lot with Danielle. But she
Yeah,
told
that's
me
true.
herself she told me herself that she didn't feel it was a good season for her because she was arguing with Teresa. She feels Teresa didn't